complaining about fuel prices, complaining about the proposed increase in tariffs for OTT and talk time. Okay, they're talking about bad roads, healthcare, poor education, all kinds of things. So it's very broad. There's so many issues, but it's generally people are not happy with what's going on. I think you can say there is a dissatisfaction with political leadership. That's just generally what you see, a dissatisfaction in political leadership. But there's a very important question we need to answer. Why are they so angry? And some of the tweets I'll show you will show the anger. But I've seen very, very angry people say very, very unprintable things. I think there are 4 reasons why these guys are angry. We've tried to isolate the reasons into 4. I think one of the main reasons why people are angry with this government in particular is that they had a lot of hope in the government. Okay, so we talk about unfulfilled promises. Let me show you some of the things the president said in 2016 before the election, just quickly, to give you a sense of why the anger has built up. Because, for example, December 1, 7 days to election 2016, God did not put us on this rich land to be poor. It is bad leadership that makes us poor. Vote Akuffo Addo for visionary leadership. So he's basically endorsing the position that if I don't have food to eat, if I don't have money, if I am poor, it's the leader I should blame. Look at this one. We are unhappy and dissatisfied with the conditions of our lives, yet government propagandists tell us we are living today in better times. This is 2016. Okay? I've seen how drivers, both private and commercial, struggle to pay for the high prices of fuel and insurance premiums. Vote Akuffo Addo. He's touching on some of the issues people are raising and that fix our country. Look at this. Many young people have been to school and yet have qualifications but no employment. Unemployment, 2016. We are told that 100,000 university graduates are trained. No job. Look at this. You mentioned Mahama, people think Dumso. When you mention Kufuor, people think economic development. This is serious stuff. And this is 2016. So there's a feeling that the president and the MPP promised a lot. People had a lot of hope in this particular government. Okay, so he mentioned Dumso there. People are talking about Dumso as well. All right? Now, in terms of promises, Dr. Bawumia, the vice president, let me just show you a flavor of some of the things he said, which is and in fact, these things I'm showing you, people are reposting them. This particular one, I've seen it posted so many times with Fix the Country. Look at this. NDC has resorted to increasing taxes under the economic difficulties they created. An MPP government will do different. Well, the recent budget imposed COVID health levy, 1% on VAT, flat rate scheme, 1% NHIL. They imposed almost 60 pesos petroleum price increase. We are paying over 6 cedis now. Sanitation and pollution levy. Now they're saying, Dr. Bawumia, you said this in 2016. So why are you increasing taxes at this time? They even have videos. Again, if you go to the Fix the Country hashtag, there's a couple of videos that are really just going all over the place. All right, I think I have one of them. He was in Joy FM talking about the NDC government's economic agenda. And he was basically saying it's a vicious cycle of economic mismanagement. That's what he was saying. He was saying it's a vicious cycle of economic mismanagement. Now, the reason this is interesting is that the examples he cites are things people see today, which is what is making them angry. So let me show you what Dr. Bawumia said. I think this is 2016-ish. This is what he said.
All of these are hurting. They are hurting the economy. These taxes are hurting. And therefore, you are not going to get the growth. And when you don't get the growth, you will not get the revenue. And when you don't get the revenue, you go back to increasing taxes to get the revenue. And then you are in a cyclical downward spiral. And so they have it wrong. And we will change that particular policy. We will use the tax incentives to grow this economy. And all of these are hurting. They are hurting the economy. These taxes are hurting. And therefore, you are not going to get the growth. And when you don't get the growth, you will not get the revenue. And when you don't get the revenue, you go back to increasing taxes to get the revenue. And then you are in a cyclical downward spiral. And so they have it wrong. And we will change that particular policy. We will use the tax incentives.
So you heard that. So it's basically talking about the taxation. And the other issue about the taxation is that people like Joe Jackson have said The recent tax announcements in the budget are retrogressive. A retrogressive tax is simply a tax that affects the poor disproportionately. Now, a lot of the taxes government has imposed are consumption taxes. So you're talking about a VAT, NHIL. So you go and buy a bottle of water. Maybe the bottle of water is 2 cedis, but you pay 2.15 because of 15% VAT or whatever. Now, if a rich man has 1 million cedis, that 1.5 is nothing. But if somebody earns 10 cedis, that's a lot. So it's retrogressive, right? So, and the point he was making was that the government is forced, and don't forget at the time, Setekpe had introduced all these taxes they call nuisance taxes, tax on condom, tax on all kinds of chaliwote and things, and people were so angry. Then they also introduced a special petroleum tax. At the time, it was over 17 pesos. And I remember Akuffo Addo and Co were so upset. Why introduce a special petroleum tax with all the tax build-up in the price? Now, if you look at the tax increases, COVID health levy, VAT flat rate scheme, sanitation and pollution levy, it was on the petroleum products. Energy sector, recovery levy, Delta Fund, 20 pesos. All right, so if you think about that, and you hear Dr. Bamia talking about this, clearly people will be upset. Okay, and they're saying the taxes are retrogressive. Fuel prices have gone up, VAT and all these things have gone up. Then there's also the vexed issue. The second reason people are angry is power issues. I think Ghanaians have a very low tolerance for heat. So when the light goes off, they don't like it. At all, at all. In fact, we have a series of stories on City Newsroom on Dumso between, just in the month of March, the Dumso 2021 crisis, what we know so far, you'll be shocked. So let me give you a quick flavor. Blackouts and explanations from Gridco between March the 3rd and April the 4th, just 1 month. Good. Since the beginning of the year, Gridco has, through statements, given explanations on 6 separate power outages. The ECG also issued a statement in that regard. March 3, Gridco said closure of an emergency valve at the West Africa gas pipeline was to blame for power cuts in parts of Accra that day. According to the company, the action ended up curtailing gas supply to some generating plants in the country. This is March 3. 4 days later, March 7, a challenge in Gridco's power system led to a total system shutdown and total power outage nationwide. This led to an interruption in power supply to all parts of the country. This is March 7, day after independence. Then March 8, the total power system shutdown that was experienced that day was due to a technical fault on one of the major transmission lines between Prestia and Obuasi. According to Gridco, in line with the challenges, Ghana Highway Authority announced that sections of N1, N2, N4 highways will experience some minimum to maximum disruptions. A week later, March 16, the day before, March 15, there was power cut in parts of the national capital, Accra. ECG blamed the outage on technical challenges from Gridco in a communique. ECG explained that the outage being experienced in parts of Accra and ECG operational areas was due to challenges from Gridco. March 17, power supply to parts of Volta region interrupted for 5 days due to Gridco's extensive maintenance work. March 24, Power Transmission Company indicates that the technical fault upstream was responsible for outage experienced in parts of Accra, West Winneba, Techiman, Sunyani. A statement, Gridco said the power outage was reported by the Ghana Gas Company, which said there was a compressor fault upstream. People don't understand all these things. Compressor, system update, they don't understand. Leading to 750 megawatts of system loss. April 4, the latest of the power cuts, Gridco attributed to technical problem. This is just 1 month. I've mentioned how many? March 3, March 7, March 8, March 16, March 17, March 24, April 4. About 6. Okay. Now, if you listen to Ghanaians, and we don't have time to show you this, businessmen in Kumasi give us a load shedding timetable. Businessmen in Accra, they feel you are hiding something. I interviewed the Gridco CEO. He says, we will never return to Dumso. Minister says, what we are going through is not the same as the John Muhammad Dumso. Well, we don't care. We just need the light. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I'm angry. It's like, you are telling us, oh, in fact, there's a story I saw which was quite interesting. September 14, 2020, Mustafa Hamid, Dumso will be back if Mahama wins the polls. This is a story written by Ernest Info, serious story. And this is Mustafa Hamid, our good friend, OJ's friend. I mean, he was addressing a press conference in Accra, September 14. Deputy campaign manager of MPP, Mustafa Hamid, said, under Mahama government, Ghanaians slept in darkness for 1,188 hours. So then he goes on to say that that was throughout the administration. But when they came to power in 2017, the power went off for how many? 41 hours, 7 minutes. So if they should tell us they resolved the Dumso, where did we get 800 hours of power outage from? So these kinds of things is what rather people, you are telling us Mahama caused Dumso, and that when you come, there will be no Dumso. We've had 6 power outages in how many days? So people are angry. So when you touch water and power, people are not happy. So that's the second issue. Now, the third reason why people are angry is the government response. Now, there were a couple of things that happened. Whilst the Fix the Country hashtag was trending, 2 days later, a couple of things started trending. Fix yourself started trending. Fix your attitude. Ghana is being fixed. Nana is fixing it. I think the straw that broke the camel's back was a tweet the MP for Nsawam Madrid put out. He is the majority chief whip in parliament, a former student leader, and a well-respected politician. Now, he put something on Twitter that got people so angry. Now, I just want to show it to you. And this is under the fix yourself, fix your attitude, Ghana is being fixed line of things. I mean, he essentially posted that, why are you talking about fix the country? Have you fixed, he mentioned so many times, I wish I had it. Have you fixed your attitude? Have you paid your taxes? You know, I mean, it was serious. You know, he really went for Ghanaians. Look, the barrage of accusations against him, Addo had to come back and apologize. I really wish I had that. Addo had to come back and apologize. Because he was basically telling Ghanaians that, what are you saying? We should fix the country. Have you fixed yourself? Check yourself. That got Ghanaians angry. And I think the last reason Ghanaians are angry is the unemployment crisis. Now, we shouldn't downplay unemployment. It's not just COVID. We're told that by TUC that 800,000 people lost their jobs during COVID. Now, before COVID, we had about 7 banks that collapsed. About 22 savings and loans and microfinance companies collapsed. About 354 microfinance companies collapsed. Even if those companies employ just 10 people each. Look at the numbers. So this is not even just COVID matter. And this is unemployment in... Look, if a bank closes, it's not just the bank manager that loses his job. From bank teller to security man to the person who brings them water in the afternoon to the person who services their AC, all lose their jobs. So the unemployment crisis was there, exacerbated by COVID. And then now you have taxes and things coming in. So people are angry. Your university graduates you produce, the government says, but between now and 2030, we're going to have about 350,000 university graduates come out of school. Even 110,000 graduates, they are not getting work to do. This is why people are angry.